I don't know what happened. Are we back? I I don't know what happened. Can you hear me? Testing, testing. We're back. Message the Discord here. If you're not in the Discord, I know your crew in here are in there. It may have just been my internet. I have no idea. But we'll do a quick recap. 8th of February. Where even is the trade recap? Can someone? Because we're talking about the Knicks, right? The Knicks scare me legit. But I just can't take fucking Julius Randle seriously, man. Kelly O buyout? Oh. I honestly hadn't considered that they might actually do the buyout. I just assumed they wanted Kelly because what was the trade? Let's pull up Kelly. Olynyk. Nothing. There it is. Yeah. So Kelly Olynyk and Ochai Agbaji, who I really like as a young guy, to the Raptors for Kira Lewis, Otto Porter Jr., and a 2024 first round pick. The first round pick's the most important part of that. I'm guessing the Raptors out of that deal like Agbaji. He fits the Raptors 6'9" vision guy. So that makes more sense. Why would they do that deal? But Kelly, he's going to be a free agent. So, yeah. I would be surprised if he's bought out. Look, this is fair. Like the fucking piss about the Bucks getting Pat Bev. Like the Bucks technically, I think, got better by trading campaign for Pat Bev. But are you telling me that Pat Bev is swinging a Celtics Bucks series? I can't get there. I can't go there. I cannot believe that that's what the Bucks did. Is only do that. Maybe they couldn't get another deal done, but that's just for how many issues they have. Huge win for the Celtics for all they to have done as bring in Pat Bev. Kelly Olynyk buyout. He's Canadian too, though. They fucking love their Canadians up there in Toronto, which makes sense. Chat, in my head, the trade deadline was going to go on. It was going to be for like so much longer. But now I'm like kind of drunk and it's 8 a.m. What am I going to do? The sun is out. I can go for a walk or something. But this is a very weird time to have consumed like a quarter of a bottle of whiskey. That's all right. Do we think Jordan Walsh may enter the rotation like slightly more so than before? No Delano Banton. No Lamar Stevens. Okay, let me just try and pull up like the NBA 2023-2024 trade deadline tracker because Trying to find it here. All right. Like the Nets trading Royce O'Neal for 3 seconds. That's actually pretty good value. But like, why did they only trade fucking Royce O'Neal? Why did they keep DFS? Why did they keep Lonnie Walker? Why did they do a half sell? It makes no sense because they are worse now. But they're not real. Like, and obviously they didn't have their picks, so they couldn't fully tank unless they traded Mikal Bridges to the Rockets, which they didn't seem like they were going to do. But like, they are a disaster. Worst trade of the day, in my opinion, is the Mavericks trading Grant Williams for PJ Washington, Seth Curry, and a first-round pick, top 2 protected 2027. The fact that they traded a 2027 top 2 protected pick for PJ Washington, who's better than Grant Williams, but I don't think it's a massive difference. That's a fucking disaster, dude. Like the Mavs, man, they have to be one of the worst run franchises in the NBA at this point. Like, outside of the Luka pick, like, what is going on with Grant? Like, he was legitimately solid, at least for us. But he was terrible for the Mavs, and now he's been salary dumped for the most part. Like, they had to attach Seth Curry and a top 2 pick. I know, I'm with you, dude. He was good for half a season and the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, and that was it. Now, they got Daniel Gafford for Rashawn Holmes and some kind of pick. That move I actually like. Great is definitely not the word I would use to describe Grant Williams in how he was for us. He was solid-ish. But he really struggled last year. But I'm saying like the 2021-2022 season, he was good. And he played well in the Nets series. He played well in the Bucks series. And that was it. And it's like, okay, he couldn't play in the conference finals against the Heat, where we won in 7, and he could not play in the Warriors series either. So it's like, people talk about 16-game players, and Bojan's like a fucking, Bojan. So I saw this comment here. And Grant is a 8-game player. Not that good in the regular season. He's very good in like very specific matchups. Like helpful in a Bucks series because he can bang with Giannis. And kind of Embiid, but like, I know he played well against Jokic twice, but is he actually a good Jokic defender, or are those like 2 random games where Jokic missed a couple of shots? The latter feels like the more likely scenario than Grant actually being good. Yeah. So, yeah, the Knicks acquisitions, dude, fucking the Knicks are good. And I think might be my number one concern. It's just Julius Randle. I just do not believe in Julius Randle. As long as they're playing him 35 minutes in the second round in the conference finals, I'm not going to be too worried. But, man, I like it for the Knicks. In a vacuum, they needed more scoring punch. Like if you watched the Knicks-Lakers game last week, where obviously Randall's injured right now and OG's also injured right now, but they just sold out to stop Brunson because we don't trust DiVincenzo, we don't trust Josh Hart, we don't trust Hartenstein, we don't trust Deuce McBride to make a play with the ball in their hands. We're going to sell out to stop Brunson. What up, Muzz? Yeah, I'm the same. I'm like, fuck. They got, and Bojan. So now, like, if you're going to sell out to stop Brunson, like if you can't stop Brunson one-on-one and you have to double Brunson, Bojan gives them another guy that can drill a pass, shoot, and make a play and be a threat. But the problem with that from a Celtics perspective is that Bojan is so cooked defensively. And so if you're playing guys that can't slow down the Jays, that's always the number one thing I look for in a matchup with the Celtics. It's like, can you slow down the Jays? If not, then I'm here for it. And like as good as OG is, think about the Raptors matchups in the past couple of years. Even going back to the bubble, when Tatum was still like 22 and Jalen was still 23, like they were still able to get buckets on Siakam and OG and a team that in theory was a good matchup for slowing down the Jays. Josh Hart's too small. Brunson, massive pressure point. I just don't see it as a matchup that can really beat the Celtics. And even then, you look at the bigs. I love Hartenstein. Mitchell Robinson I actually like. But go back and obviously small sample size, but you watch the first game of the season, then the opener, Celtics-Knicks. Tatum had this awesome game, and he's really comfortable attacking Mitchell Robinson. And so from that perspective, I'm just like not that concerned with the Knicks matchup. Potential buyout guys. My number one guy right now is Otto Porter Jr. I know he's washed. I know he's been injured, but I'm talking about high upside, someone that you bring in that could legitimately help you in the playoffs. 2 years ago, Otto Porter Jr. was a key piece of the Warriors winning the title against, unfortunately, the Boston Celtics. But he's 30 years old still. So Spencer Dinwiddie, so for anyone that's in the stream now that we didn't talk about this earlier, because the Celtics are over the second apron, we can only sign buyout guys that were making less than the mid-level exception. So if anyone is making $12.4 million more, then we can't sign them. So like Dinwiddie's making $18.8 million, I think. We can't sign him to a buyout. Gordon Hayward, if he had gotten bought out, would have loved. No, it's below 12.4. So anyone below 12.4, we can sign. So Otto Porter Jr. making $6.3 million, I believe. I'm back. Yeah, sorry everybody. It wasn't the fire. Honestly, it may have been the fireball. I don't remember clicking the end stream. I may have done it by accident, but I don't believe it was me. I don't get what the Pistons are doing, really. Like, I guess they brought in a couple of guys that can play. Fuck, that's the one thing I wish that we would have done. Like, I would have loved to get Lonnie. Just feel like the Nets are being weird about the price. Like, if they got 3 second-round picks for Royce O'Neal, did they also want 3 second-round picks for Lonnie Walker, which would have been a ridiculous price to pay for Lonnie Walker? Marcus Morris also makes too much in a buyout. Yeah, so this is going to be the problem. And this is why the new CBA is fucking bullshit. This is another reason why Grant Williams is maybe not a Celtics fan favorite, is because he negotiated the CBA. And the new CBA is fucking specifically designed to slow the Celtics down. Where if you're a high-spending team, a high-level contender that's spending a lot of money, all these fucking punishments are to slow us down. And so like we can't sign buyout guys unless they make less than $12.4 million. Markieff Morris, you could talk me into it. Yeah, we can sign him on a buyout. Otto Porter Jr., we can sign him on a buyout. Kelly Olynyk, still potentially bought out by the Raptors. I don't think he'll be bought out by the Raptors. That would surprise me a fair bit. But yeah, so I don't quite see that. The Bulls absolutely ruined the deadline. What the fuck are they doing, dude? What are they fucking doing? They're going to push for the 8 seed? That's the best case scenario for them? Let's check the standings real quick. They are currently the 9 seed. 3 games back from the 8 seed. 3.5 game back from the 7 seed. It's like, okay, best case scenario, they're a 7 seed. Are they really catching the heat or the Magic? No. And that's what you're building your whole strategy around. It's good for us in the sense that Caruso doesn't go to another team or DeRozan doesn't go to another team. But I was in a place where I was very, very willing to overpay for Caruso and he felt like he kind of took me over the top. But Cavs, nothing. They don't really have anything to trade anyway. So, like, not super surprising, but they did nothing. Bucks are the biggest losers. I think if we're going to pick a biggest losers of the deadline, it has to be the Bucks, because they have like the most obvious holes out of any of the contenders. I mean, obviously the Sixers have concerns, but that's like not in their control. That's more of an Embiid thing. Like if Embiid's healthy, they're going to be really good. If Embiid's healthy, pure like 100% healthy, the Sixers scare me more than any other team. But I just don't. I think what the Sixers did at this deadline indicates that they don't expect Joel Embiid to be 100% come playoff time. Because if they did, then you cannot do what they just did and send out Pat Beverly, who was really important for them. They're going to bring in Kyle Lowry, who's better than Beverly technically, but campaign sucks. Like we don't have it. Yeah, exactly. Like the whole big wing thing. It'd be nice to have someone that can play more consistent minutes, someone that you're more confident in on a day-to-day basis than O'Shea, Brissett. But the reality is, in the playoffs, Tatum and Jalen are playing 40 minutes a game. Derek and Drew are playing 38. Derek was playing 40 minutes a game. Porzingis, Horford. And so all House is really playing is like 10 minutes a game, maybe 12, maybe 15 in the first round. And so the wing, not that important, whereas like your biggest risks are Porzingis and Horford, obviously. And Tillman, from what I've seen, like the way that the Grizzlies fans have... Yeah, let's go, dude. Let's go, Jamie T. In the chat here. The way I've seen Grizzlies fans react to Tillman leaving is not on the same level as when Derek White left the Spurs. And it was like if when Marcus Smart left the Celtics and the emotional reaction of Celtics fans was a 10, as far as how upset, in a positive way, all Celtics fans were with Marcus Smart leaving. The way Derek White left the Spurs was like a 9 out of 10. The way Tillman has left the Grizzlies, as far as like a fucking minimum player goes, someone that's making nothing, the way that they've reacted to losing someone like that is really encouraging, because everybody's been, from a Grizzlies perspective, has been really positive, really emotional about the way they feel about Tillman leaving. That's like maybe more important than any other stat you're going to see. It's like, does the fans of that team feel a certain way about your guy leaving? And if it's good, then lean into that. If the team that guy has left is like happy that guy has gone, bad sign. And it's completely the opposite. So Tillman, I think, legit can be better than Luke. Defensively, it's not going to be close. Tillman's a much better defender than Luke. And offensively, from some of the film I've been watching the last couple of days, and see if I can find this video that I tweeted the other day. Like, you should all watch this after this stream, because it's called Xavier Tillman is a Genius. Here it is. This guy, Ben on Twitter, is a fucking legend, and he's like a scout player development guy. Watch that video. Offensively, really impresses me. Really smart player, really good in the short roll, makes quick decisions. Here's a great comparison. Kind of Luke, as far, Tillman does not jump. It's why it's really funny to watch the Tillman tape. Is like, physically, he kind of looks a lot like Horford in that Horford is bigger and longer, I think, technically. But Tillman, the way that he moves and the way that he's not super athletic, looks so similar to Horford. Even the way that he kind of might get beat on a drive and then recovers and makes a block is so Horford-y. I think he can be really good. And in the playoffs, like, he can fucking legitimately sop up minutes against Giannis and Embiid. How is he on the boards? Statistically, fine. Like, I can't sit here and tell you that I've watched enough Grizzlies games to be like, is he a really good rebounder? Like, I'll pull out the numbers for you here just because I'm also interested. Let's go like rebounding percentage, because like there isn't awesome advanced rebounding numbers, because part of it's like it's more, does the team rebound well when he's on the court? So I can probably dive into that at some point. But Luke Cornett has a 13.2% defensive rebounding percentage, which is like okay, pretty like standard for a big guy. And then you look at the Grizzlies this year, and Tillman has a 14.6, so a 1.4% boost or difference between Tillman and Cornett. But I wouldn't read too much into that. I think the honestly, I'm already getting fired up, dude. Let's go. Tillman and Springer, fireball. I'll have another sip. Yeah. Oh, but here's the thing. If we could sign 37-year-old Al Horford right now without the shooting, that's a fucking good player, dude. Like, if the Sixth Man of the Year award wasn't just purely based on whoever scores the most points, Al Horford would absolutely be in the running, but he's going to not be. Hell yeah, dude. I got this mug in the team shop at TD Garden when I went there for the Nets Celtics series a couple years ago. Soft touch. He's shooting 51% from 3 to 10 feet in the float, which is essentially the floater range, which is really nice, and 75% at the rim. That's fucking elite, dude. Hey, man. Smart's a Springer's a good defender. I was I snuck into the Uniball playback stream while Ben and Spoonie were also talking, just to like see their reaction to that trade, the Celtics getting Springer. And Trill, the Sixers guy, was like, look, Springer's a fucking good defender. Absolutely a good defender. But his offensive game is 0 right now. So, but hey, he has 1 NBA skill. It's not so bad. We'll take that. So don't look at Tillman's free throw percentage. It's fucking bad, dude. So that's his biggest issue. Absolutely biggest concern. I know he shot 70% in college, which I know someone in the First to the Floor Discord pointed out. So maybe it's not as bad as it looks. It is very surprising. Like, he's shooting 51% in the 3 to 10 foot range on floaters, but you're telling me he's only shooting 55% on free throws? That is weird. Who knows, man? Maybe he just like, that's like an outlier, and he starts to shoot a little bit better from the free throw line. I'm just gonna pull up his numbers here, but free throws, 57% career. He started off 64, 65%, and in the last 2 years really struggled from the free throw line, which, I mean, who knows? Maybe he just like got sick of Memphis. Boston's going to be so welcoming. Yeah, so like he doesn't get fouled a ton. Like Rob Williams shot 90% in the playoffs, and that 22 playoff run was like one of my favorite stats. And that's an outlier, but hey. Banton was a legendary Celtic. Yeah, legendary Celtic that I hated, dude. God damn. If that might be the biggest fucking win out of the whole deadline, dude. Thank God. My maybe the biggest question out of the deadline. Banton gone, Lamar gone. Can we get some more Jordan Walsh? Please. So we bring in Tillman. That doesn't take minutes away from Jordan Walsh. That takes minutes away from K-Top specifically, and probably Luke. Springer, I have to believe, is behind everybody and is purely purely a developmental option and probably a trade piece. He makes 4.2 million next year. So that actually becomes like a relatively helpful piece as far as a trade chip goes. So like, hey man, maybe Walsh comes up. That would be the fucking dream. Can we get Walsh up here? But dude, I swear Walsh is good. I swear he's good. 34% from 3 in the G League. That's much better than fucking O'Shea Brissett. And defensively, we haven't really had given him a chance to see much. We can't aggregate. You're absolutely right. But he makes twice as much than a minimum. So it's like, maybe there's someone that pops up that's 4 million as opposed to 2 million. That would be it. And I don't know, Tice, you're better on this than me. Like, is there some way we get under the second apron going into next season? Because I know Kristaps goes from 36 to 30 going into next year. And then do we re-sign Drew to like 20 million? Because his player option is 39. Do we re-sign Drew to like a 3 for 60 or like a 3 for 50? So do we get Drew on 25 mil on the next year, and then that helps us get below the second apron, and all of a sudden we can aggregate? I don't have the numbers up in front of me. 4 for 80 is like okay. I wouldn't hate it, but Drew's going to be 34 in June. So he's getting up there age-wise. I would like the years to be 3 if we're going to re-sign him, like 3 for 50, like 25, 15. What does that give you to? 40 and then 10? Like, does it scroll, like, go down? Yeah, but like Al, you can't. Al is just like the role player version of LeBron. Like, he's so durable and so capable still at his age that like he's a massive outlier. So maybe Drew is one of those guys too. Yeah, so like can we get under the tax and all of a sudden we aren't a second apron team, so then we can combine Pritchard, Springer, and one minimum, and that gets you to 12 million. Yeah, shout out Drunk Jake, dude. 8:30. I'm going to do one more shot after I finish this cup. And once I finish that, I'm getting out of here. But whoa. 3 for 60 would be great. 3 for 60 would be great. They just got to start scaling his minutes down, dude. Like, why is he playing the second most minutes, dude? It makes no sense. We're all haggling. 30 for 60, 30 for 45. Yeah, dude, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if, like, all of a sudden, you can, like, kind of chuck some stuff together and make another move. Look, all I know is Brad and Zarin fucking know. These guys are hoopers. They know what they're fucking doing. Like, how did the rest of the league let us take Tillman? Like, who went for, like, the Sixers need a fucking backup big man so badly. The Miami Heat need a backup big man so badly. And now third string big man is now the best big man, would be like one of the best backup big men. Like, why do the teams keep letting the Celtics do this? Do you understand how many teams would have been salvaged if they would have traded for Kristaps Porzingis and all the Wizards got back was fucking like Gallinari, Tyus Jones, and Muscala? Like, how do the Warriors not trade for Kristaps Porzingis? Imagine Steph Curry and Kristaps playing fucking basketball together. It'd be insane. But like, apparently, Brad Stevens is the only one that knows ball. Yeah, man. People like doing business with Brad. Because Brad's willing to pay a fair price. Like the last 3 years of Danny's tenure, the Nets Celtics trade was such a fucking heist and so fucking good that Danny Ainge is just so high on his own supply now. He's just like, every trade needs to be, every big trade, I need to just like dominate. And he kind of dominated the Gobert trade, but even now the Gobert trade, it's like, he got a lot of Minnesota Timberwolves picks. They're going to be good now. Like those picks aren't going to net you Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. What they got for Donovan Mitchell, great return, but I don't know. If Donovan Mitchell leaves, then maybe that starts to domino for those guys. Brad looks at Raptor, not EPM. Hey, I think he looks at all of them, dude. He just filters bad teams. Anyone that has less than 20 wins at the deadline, Raptor, EPM, BPM, Vorps, and Schnorps, to quote the great Zach Lowe. Who's high on that list? And I'm offering something for those guys. And it's fucking working so far. Like Porzingis did. Like he just dominating all the advanced metrics and all the raw metrics. Just who's really good at scoring points and playing defense? Kristaps Porzingis on the Washington Wizards. Nah, no one's gonna trade more than Gallinari and Muscala and a first for him. That's insane. Firstly, the fact that Scotty Barnes is a fucking all-star over Kristaps Porzingis is just a fucking embarrassment. Embarrassing, dude. Didn't the Raptors just get smoked yesterday? Oh, they beat the Hornets. All right. Fair enough. Beat the Hornets. Congratulations. You're 18 and 33. You're 18 and 33. And Scotty Barnes is averaging what, 20? I'm pulling it up here because I'm on a tangent now. Scotty Barnes is averaging 28 and 5. Has a negative 3.2 plus minus. Is an all-star? What are we doing, dude? That's fucking embarrassing. Adam Silver should be ashamed, bro. What are we doing? This is actually gonna be an interesting point. Is like gonna be cool and interesting to see how Joe implements a new guy. Because last deadline was Muscala, right? I think it was the only guy that we brought in, and he was good for a few games and then kind of fell out of the rotation. So I'm just going to make sure I'm not missing any good comments here while I looked at those stats. This is Brad's PJ. Dude. This could be a serious move. Xavier Tillman. Let's just think about this. Regular season. Last year, for when the Grizzlies were the 2 seed, he played 1,200 minutes. Now, they only played one series, but he was so good in that Lakers series. He was incredible, dude. He was destroying LeBron and AD in that series. Like, if Ja doesn't get hurt, they fucking win that series. He was awesome. Fuck, man. Look, I'm someone that just injects Celtics optimism right into my veins. But so I'm obviously going to think that Xavier Tillman's going to turn into Al Horford and he's going to develop a 3-point shot and the free throws going to become good. I'm going to dream about him knocking down free throws tonight. But everything I've seen, everything I've watched in the last 36 to 24 hours, however the fuck long it's been since Tillman's been traded. I don't know, man. I'm a believer. Dude. Oh, man, Grant, dude. Another great move by fucking Brad Stevens was not re-signing Grant Williams. The Mavs had to salary dump him already, 6 months in. If Tillman becomes Horford Jr., dude. Yeah, Grant went to the Hornets for PJ. So wait. Grant to the Hornets, and then PJ Washington, Seth Curry, and a 2027 first round pick. Top 2 protected. Shots in, boys. There we go. Boys and girls. I'm going to pour a little water in with that shot just because if I don't, I'm going to drink it too fast. Grant's from Charlotte. He's going to live his life. He's going to be making $13, $14 million a year. Man. Is there a better life in this world than being an NBA player? Like, veterans minimum $1.9 million. You have one good season in the right spot, like Grant Williams did, and Ben, how do I fix this, dude? There we go. Here we go. That's my bad, dude. That's the fireball. Please follow us all on all of those platforms. Like, you play well for a year and a half, you're making $15 million fucking dollars for 4 years, and your entire lineage for the next, until the world turns into all the ice caps melt, and you're rich. Everyone's rich. If you're just Grant Williams good, it's insane, bro. If only I was 6'4", because I can touch the rim at 5'7", right, Rivens? And it's all right, dude. Yeah, like I was watching the Clippers Pelicans game yesterday, and they were talking about how Brandon Ingram's chef comes with him, and I'm like, why is that a big deal? Brandon Ingram makes like $20 million a year. I could pay my chef the most out of any chef in the entire world to follow me around. Like, why would I not? All right. We should do this on an official pod. I'll do it right now. This is like a heart versus head thing. Do you listen to like what your Celtics PTSD has done to you? Do you try and use your objective brain? How do I go here? Drew for 45. That's the fucking dream, bro. If we can get that done, perfect. And by the way, then you can flip Drew for something good. God's plan, dude. This is it. I think Grant Williams has passed his peak, would be my guess. It's really hard for me to not be scared of the Heat, but I just watch them play, dude. I just don't see it. If Porzingis is healthy, they can't beat us. Yeah, there's also just like Drew just takes his $39 million option. But that's the thing. If you want to keep, that's why the 3 for 45 doesn't make sense to me, because like his player option is 30. Is it 39 or 36? Either way, I'm just gonna look it up here. Player option for 39.4. So it's like, what's the point of Drew signing at 3 for 45 if he can pick up his player option at 39 million? So like, it's gonna have to be like 60, where it's 20, 20, or 25, and it goes down from there. Yeah, absolutely. But he could just pick up his player option and still stay on the same team in the East. So it is going to be interesting. Like his comments in that interview, I forget who did it, very much alluded to him being like, I don't want to get traded again. I like this team. I would like to play on a good team for the twilight of my prime. But I learned with the Gordon Hayward situation where I thought he would re-sign on a team-friendly deal. You've been injured. You love Brad Stevens, etc. And then Charlotte comes in and offers him 4 for 120, right? So like guys signing team-friendly deals, I just don't believe in it anymore. And that was kind of what did it, because like these guys don't seem to do it. I personally don't get it, right? It's like Gordon Hayward's made, going into that contract, he'd made over $100 million. What is your lifestyle difference between I've made over $100 million, I can make $20 million per year with the Celtics, or I can make $30 million per year with the Hornets? Like, what is the difference in your life, especially for someone like Gordon Hayward, who's like a family guy and a gamer? Like, what is the extra $10 million per year doing for you on a day-to-day basis? I don't get it. Like, as someone that has moved from Sydney, one of the expensive cities in the world, to Tasmania, one of the cheapest cities in the world, for quality of life purposes, like, why not choose what's going to make you happy more than the money? And which is a good way to live your life in general. But especially when you've already made $130 million. All right, to go back, because I'm going to... Drunk Jake is getting philosophical here. So let's... Bucks, Sixers, Heats, Knicks, Cavs. Those are your real threats, right? I want to, like, Bucks, even though I want to put Bucks low on that list, the fact that they have Giannis still makes me a little scared because he's so fucking ridiculous. But the Knicks is like the best constructed. The Cavs, I can see, like the way that Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland operate the pick and roll, feels like that could give you trouble. But then if they have two non-shooters in Allen and Mobley, like how are they gonna score when you're so dialed in? Okay, I'm still gonna put the Sixers at number one. I'm gonna put the Sixers at number one, assuming Embiid comes back in 4 weeks and all of a sudden, like, hits like high upside, very unlikely, but he comes back 6 weeks before the playoffs, gets healthy, gets fit, gets in shape, bang, he's ready to go, and it's him, Maxey, Batum, Tobias, and they're like just firing on all cylinders. I think he scares me the most, but that also feels like the most unlikely. And then it's between the Knicks and the Bucks. Like, OG, size, toughness. The Bucks feel done to me, dude. Doc Rivers, the fact that they kept Bobby Portis and made no real moves. Like, what's Patrick fucking Beverley saving the fucking Bucks? Get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, what a disaster. And they gave up a second round pick. What are they doing, dude? Yeah, the Knicks, I think it's the Knicks maybe at 2. Knicks and Heat might be at the top as currently constructed. Like, best, like, low, like 1, 2, 3% chance the Sixers like get Embiid like back in full prime. That's them, but like that just feels like such a low chance at this point because the way they operated today makes me think that they know that his knee is cooked for this year at least. And then the Bucks, dude, what are they doing, dude? Well, they couldn't do much. The Mavs, I think, got better. But I just don't think this helps them do make any real noise. Like, no real, like, I like Gafford, great backup big man. I love PJ Washington as a bench 7th guy. I do not think that PJ Washington is a starter on a conference finals team. I do not believe that. And they gave up a top 2 protected 2027 pick when Luka Doncic might be fucking gone. Insane, dude. To me. I could be wrong. Who knows? PJ Washington gets out of Charlotte, comes and hangs out with Luka, and he's awesome. But like everything we've seen from Luka and the Mavs right now is you go to the Mavericks and you get worse. Brunson, Brunson's going to make fucking all NBA. He's on track to be like one of the best Knicks of all time. He's already one of the most beloved Knicks of all time. And it's not even a question. Porzingis, having, as soon as he left the Mavericks, became the best version of himself immediately. Grant Williams was essentially just salary dumped after playing with fucking Luka. I absolutely agree that Washington's better than Grant. No question. How much better, we're going to find out. Because it's all well and good to do fun things in Charlotte. Like, I don't know, man. The way that Luka plays, he's just an insanely tantalizing, explosive offensive player. Like, there's nothing you can do with that guy. But, like, how much does he really turn you into a championship contender unless you have, like, a really well-designed team around you? Whereas, like, Tatum, he really fits into any situation. Scale up, scale down. Yeah, that's the thing. It's all Luka ball. So how different is PJ Washington going to be on the Mavs? Because I agree that PJ Washington's better than Luka, but better than Grant, but what's the difference going to be? Like, Grant actually might be the better straight up spot up shooter. Whereas PJ is definitely better with like attacking closeouts, putting the ball on the floor, kind of, bit of a handle. Talk about what's the difference between Grant and PJ? And you just gave up a 2027 top 2 protected pick. That is fucking insane to me. Insane to me. Like, the Mavs, bro. What is going on with those guys? I just don't get it. Don't get it. So, yeah, I don't know. All right, I'll get ready to wrap up here. I'm finishing up my next fireball shot here. What am I going to do, guys? It's fucking 9 a.m. 10 to 9. I need the basketball to start now. I'm going to be hungover by the time the NBA starts today. Anything else you guys want me to talk about? I'll just talk about whatever you want. Tillman, Jaden Springer, thoughts? Like, buyout guys, no more box jumps for at least 2 weeks. But you better believe, dude, I'm going to get this video of me touching the rim out. I promise you. Yeah, Thai Coffee, look, you're... Oh, Carl, I'm sorry, dude. Mate, you've got a good 2 hours of streams to rewind if you really need to, but Celtics feel like winners of the deadline purely based off what everybody else didn't do. They can re-sign the mistress for as much as they want. They're just going to have to pay tax. The expendable guy is Drew. I can't guarantee anything. I would be fucking shocked if they don't re-sign Derek for whatever the price is. $40 million a year for Derek White. It's not even that much anymore. Like, in this day and age with the new CBA, like Fred VanVleet got $40 million a year from the Houston Rockets. And Derek White's so much better than Fred VanVleet. So, like, I would not stress it too much, but next year, I think we're still going to have a very similar, there's a chance I drunkenly ended the stream. Who knows? But, right. Okay. Thank you, Tice. So that's the max we can offer him in extension limitation. That actually worries me a little bit. We have him for next year at the minimum. I would guess they offer him whatever the most they can. And then if he does not sign that, then I would guess they would still try and re-sign him for 40 plus mil. Dude, I'd be dead. I'd be fucking dead. Yeah, Tillman will be long-term and Springer is trade bait. I would project that as what happens. I just don't know how you can be Brad Stevens and watch what's happening with the Celtics over the past 18 months and not do everything in your power to keep Drew Holiday. Derek White. Like, if you're power ranking importance on the Celtics, is it not like if you were going to create a big three out of this team, is it not Tatum, KP, Derek White? I love fucking Jaylen Brown. But if you have to choose three guys for the next 5 years, as far as fit goes, I think it's easily Tatum, KP, Derek White. Easily. And that doesn't mean they can't keep those guys together. But if you're forced to choose 3 out of 4, I think Jalen's the odd man out there. Just you look at what Jokic and Murray have, right? The 2-man game. As good as Tatum and Jalen are together, and you're seeing how good how it can work with the Clippers as well, with Paul George, Kawhi, and Harden. But Kawhi and Harden are far more important to the success of the Clippers as opposed to Paul George floating in and out. And that look, if you want to tell me that it's JB over KP, I think that's fine. But you look at Jokic and Murray and the 2-man game, I just think there is an overlap in what Tatum and Jalen give you, and what makes the Celtics so awesome is that you don't have to make these decisions right now. You have these guys on your team. That's what makes these guys so fucking incredible. Is that you have 2 insanely talented scoring wings that can defend at a high level, that can do it. You name it, they can do it. But KP, as far as running an offense, pick and roll, pick and pop, initiating sets, creating looks in the half court, is a lot easier with a 7'3" big man that can roll, pop, post up, as opposed to doing that with Jalen and Jason, which can work and does work. But I don't think that it sucks. But if they have to make that decision, that is the 3 that I would go with. I have to make my big 3. It's Tatum, KP, and Derek, and you trade Jalen for depth. I know, dude. It's all right. Don't worry about it. This is not coming anytime soon. This is 2 years down the line before we have to worry about this. But if we haven't won a title by then SGA, Wemby maybe. SGA and Ant are really good, but they're not good enough for me to really be fuck, the window's closing. Ant especially, honestly. Ant is become kind of overrated to me. Their offense is so bad in the half court, and part of that is the double big stuff, but his decision making in the half court is really not very good. The shooting struggles at times. Yeah, especially, and also thank God all these guys are in the West. By the way, Sixers, we're so close to them just being completely done. The Bucks just hitched their wagon to 33-year-old Dame Lillard that already looks cooked as fuck. And then who's next? Jimmy Butler's 34, 35. The Pacers are up and coming. The Magic are up and coming. But as far as surefire generational stars go, that are all in the West. Ant, Shea, Wemby. I love Paolo and Franz, but they're not conference-altering talents. You know what I mean? Sorry. That's my bad. Pat Bev now. Love that. Yeah, this is the problem. Can we please fucking take care of business? This is why I need them, for my own sanctity, to go. Yeah, please like the stream. We got 47 in here. Get it in there. Trade deadline after hours, I guess. Trade deadline stream number 2. The East is wide open and should be kind of straightforward. They shouldn't play 7-game series. This is why I want to see 10 to 15 games of them going fucking scorched earth and proving to us that that team that we saw earlier in the season, that's still been really good, but I want to see that team that has like elite top 5 defense, elite top 5 offense, night in, night out. That's what I want to see. Because what bit them in the butt last year was, well, we all know, similar to what we saw in the Hawks game yesterday, is like they just were just fucking cruising. The difference is when they can cruise now, they have Porzingis. The Jays are a year older. They're better again. Derek White's taking another step. Drew Holiday being better than Marcus Smart, even if it's a marginal improvement. When they cruise, they're still incredible. And when they lock in for 5 minutes like they did in the Hawks game, it's like, oh, the game's over. Literally. They played hard for 5 minutes, game was over. And so they're absolutely better than they were last year, no question. I would just like to have feel more confident going into the playoffs that they're not going to have those missteps. And game 5 against Atlanta, games 1 against Philly, game 4 against Philly, game 1 and 2 against Miami. If you win those games, you're in the finals. And so it's just, please, take care of fucking business. Have the I don't want to sound like a boomer, but killer instinct. Just take advantage. Ramp things up 5 minutes earlier than you would normally. And don't ramp things down 60 seconds before you should. Like yesterday in the Hawks game, where they have a 13-point lead with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go, and they just start fucking around. And then all of a sudden it's a 5-point game with 40 seconds to go, where it's yeah, it was scary, but not really, but it was scary enough where it shouldn't have been scary. It's yeah, man, exactly. Lucas Dunn. Exactly. That's why we want this team to be different, and they have been different, and they have been better. But we fucking want them to just take that next step. All right. I finished my fireball. Well, not the whole bottle. I finished enough fireball. It's 9 a.m. Buyout market will be interesting. Otto Porter Jr., that's the guy I'm interested in, even though he's washed and injured. There's a chance he becomes the guy he was 2 years ago. He's still only 30. But yeah, man, we'll be back soon. Appreciate you guys all being here for stream 1 and stream 2. We'll be back. Fucking, here we go. I got a whole day ahead of me. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. Sun's out. I'm going to go for a drunk walk on the beach now, I guess. Sounds pretty good. All right. Boys and girls, appreciate you all. Like, subscribe. See you soon. Appreciate. That's not a word. All right. Appreciate you guys. See you soon. Peace.